Hello everyone and welcome to Moementum channel. My name is Mo, and in this video I want to provide a quick update into the progress that our daughter's registered education savings plan has had. And since its opening, it's about actually the time. It's been 1 year since roughly about opening the account, and it's actually her birthday. So we had a quick birthday celebration. So I thought it's actually a momentous time for us to quickly take a look at it, see how her account performance has been since its opening. We kept her RESP account approach of investing super simple. We only invested in one single all-in-one exchange traded fund, which is essentially a basket of many thousand companies worldwide. In fact, we are investing in XEQT, one of the popular all-in-one ETFs here in Canada, one that we ourselves in our household do invest in, but we thought like we want to also maintain that same approach and invest her funds for RESP account into XEQT. We started this account roughly, I would say, back in June of last year, shortly after she was born. At the beginning, early on, we put in $2,500 into her account. That's a typical amount that folks typically put in when opening an account in order to receive the 500 government kind of match. In order for us to maximize the opportunity over a long period of time for her, we followed a strategy whereby in the first year we contributed and put in an extra 14,000 into the account as well. That brought the amount that we put in that first year, the year 2024, in our account to a total of $16,500. We did the math, and if we follow this approach for the subsequent years, we only would put in the $2,500 up to a certain point, and at which point, once we have hit the maximum amount of $50,000 put in, which is the maximum amount that you can contribute to the RESP account, from there onwards, we are not going to be contributing anything. Through this approach, we will still get the maximum amount of government benefits, which is capped at $7,200 through the government. So that still would be received for us through this account in the next several years as we continue down this path. Early on in 2025 as well, in this first week of January, we contributed the next $2,500 into account. That brought the total amount that we put in our daughter's RESP to a total of $19,000. And then shortly after, we received another $500 government benefits. In total, we received a total of $1,000 from government benefits, as well as $19,000 that we put in. So if you look at the total value of the account since inception, currently it's sitting at the total value of $22,217. As you can see, for our daughter, she currently has a total of 639 shares with an average purchase price of $31.68. This account, if I click on it, XEQT shares for her are currently up by 9.6%, close to 10% point within a 1 year time frame. Keep in mind, of course, through this time, there has been ups and downs, and she's also received amount of dividends. In fact, she received a total amount of roughly $270 in dividend income, which all of it has been reinvested back for her. Lastly, before I wrap up the video, I also wanted to provide a quick update into the portfolio that we have for our household. Currently, the total portfolio value shown here on Blossom, based on the old brokerage account that my wife and I have, and it's been linked to Blossom, is sitting at $884,414. So close to $885,000. Today the market was down, so in total today's unrealized loss was roughly $3,400. But our all-time return for the portfolio is $180,000. Or in other words, the portfolio is up by 25.6%, close to 26% up. As I pointed out earlier, majority of our holdings are indeed in XEQT. In fact, close to 91% of our entire holdings is in XEQT. We do see that we currently have over 23,000 shares of XEQT, and overall, its all-time return is showing to be up by 25.8, close to 26%. In fact, it has been our best performing holding so far. Given that it includes your investments over time, we pretty much buy XEQT on a regular basis, sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, depending on how sometimes we have like a residual income that be available to us and we try to buy more. Otherwise, we try to maintain that weekly buys on a regular basis. Our next big holding is shares of VTI, or Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund ETF. With VTI, you're only getting exposure to the entire US stock market. We currently have around 6% of our holdings into shares of VTI, and it's currently up by 22.7%. Lastly, we have shares of VT or Vanguard Total World Stock Index. With VT, it's almost like XEQT, but it's available in US dollar version. And then its exposure to Canadian stock market is a bit less. With XEQT, your exposure to Canadian stock market is about 30% of that holdings, whereas with VT is only about 3%. So with VT is much more broadly diversified to US and the rest of the world, and Canadian exposure is around 3%, which is actually equivalent to Canada's kind of size when it comes to the world stock market and world economy. Our shares of VT are up by over 25% as well. All in all of the shares are nicely up. We have been investing in these funds roughly for the past 1.5 to 2 years. This has been the approach that we've been taking. Prior to that, I was investing in different individual stocks and dividend stocks, as well as like different types of ETFs individually, but then try to make things simple. I found that this is a lot more easier for me to handle things, and I don't have to worry about like necessarily picking and choosing stocks. Just to give you some perspective, when you start building a larger position, as an example, if I click into my shares of XEQT, which is our largest holding, it does as well show you, I believe, different types of, the charts, as well as how much we've gained through regular gain, as well as how much in dividend income since inception. So because we have average share price for shares of XEQT is at $29.65, you see our yield on cost is even higher than the typical yield for XEQT. Even though the dividend yield for XEQT is only at 2.08, our yield on cost is even better because our average price is lower and it's at 2.62%. Quite nice. And you can see our overall return consists of roughly 3% of it comes from dividend income and the rest from price gains. All of these, of course, dividends are reinvested back into the stock. If you take into account the dividend gain, our overall return on this position is actually even higher, close to 29%. So that's something worthwhile to be aware of. You can see the charts that are presented here to Blossom. This is the desktop version. Even the app version is available. If you haven't checked out Blossom, it's a fantastic app. It's an amazing community for investors here in Canada and US to come together. You can connect your brokerage accounts easily to Blossom to keep track of your portfolio. Super simple. It also showcases, like, as you buy your new shares and you sell anything, it's transparently shared there. You get new milestone badges as well. You get to communicate and interact with other investors. Much like, essentially, it's the premium kind of investing social media app for investors. So it's a fantastic way to communicate and engage with other investors around the world. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to use the referral link in the video description, and you can download the app for free and get started right there on Blossom. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video until the end. I hope you found it beneficial and you gained something of value from it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and follow our journey on YouTube, as well as follow my portfolio on Blossom. Looking forward to connecting with you all very soon.